Today we'll be talking about one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. Ted Bundy, born in Burlington, Vermont in 1946, Bundy would go on to become a household name for his heinous crimes. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into his life, from his childhood, his criminal activity, and his eventual death. Childhood. Bundy had a somewhat troubled childhood. His mother, Eleanor Louise Cowell, was unmarried and was sent to live with her parents when she became pregnant with him. Bundy was told that his grandparents were his parents, and his mother was his sister. Later in life, he would find out the truth about his birth. Growing up, Bundy was described as a quiet child who kept to himself. However, he did have a fascination with knives and would sometimes sneak out of the house to visit local butchers. Rise. After graduating from the University of Washington, Bundy began his ascent into the world of politics. He worked on the re-election campaign for Governor Dan Evans in 1972 and was accepted into the law school at the University of Utah. It was during this time that Bundy's true nature began to emerge. He was suspected of several crimes, including burglary and car theft, but was never convicted. It's here where he began to develop a taste for murder. Criminal activity. Bundy's killing spree began in 1974 when he attacked several women in the Pacific Northwest. His modus operandi was to feign injury and ask for help. When the women would approach him, he would attack them. Over the next few years, Bundy would continue to kill, moving from state to state and leaving a trail of victims behind him. January 4, 1974, Karen Sparks, 18, in Seattle, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a crowded ski resort and took her to a secluded area where he strangled her to death. February 1, 1974, Linda and Healy, 21, in Seattle, Washington. Bundy broke into her house in the middle of the night, knocked her unconscious, and took her to a secluded area where he killed her. March 12, 1974, Donna Gail Manson, 19, in Olympia, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a college campus and killed her in a secluded area. April 17, 1974, Susan Rancourt, 18, in Ellensburg, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a college campus and killed her in a secluded area. May 6, 1974, Roberta Kathleen Parks, 22, in Corvallis, Oregon. Bundy broke into her house in the middle of the night and killed her. June 1, 1974, Brenda Carol Ball, 22, in Burien, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a motel and killed her in a secluded area. June 11, 1974, Georgia Ann Hawkins, 18, in Seattle, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a college campus and killed her in a secluded area. July 14, 1974, Janice and Ott, 23, in Lake Sammamish, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a park and killed her in a secluded area. July 14, 1974, Denise Marie Naslund, 19, in Lake Sammamish, Washington. Bundy abducted her from a park and killed her in a secluded area. October 2, 1974, Nancy Wilcox, 16, in Holiday, Utah. Bundy abducted her from a busy street and killed her in a secluded area. October 18, 1974, Melissa Ann Smith, 17, in Midvale, Utah. Bundy abducted her from a school parking lot and killed her in a mountainous area. October 31, 1974, Laura Annam, 17, in Lehi, Utah. Bundy abducted her from a Halloween party and killed her in a mountainous area. November 8, 1974, Carol Duranch, 18, in Murray, Utah. Bundy attempted to kidnap her from a shopping mall but was unsuccessful. November 8, 1974, Deborah Kent, 17, in Bountiful, Utah. Bundy abducted her from a high school parking lot and killed her. January 12, 1975, Karen Campbell, 23, in Snowmass, Colorado. Bundy abducted her from a hotel and killed her in a wooded area. March 15, 1975, Julie Cunningham, 26, in Vail, Colorado. Bundy abducted her from a hotel and killed her in a wooded area. April 6, 1975, Denise Oliverson, 24, in Grand Junction, Colorado. Bundy abducted her from a bike path and killed her in a deserted area. May 6, 1975, Lynette Culver, 12, in Pocatello, Idaho. Bundy abducted her from her junior high school and killed her. June 28, 1975, Susan Curtis, 15, in Provo, Utah. Bundy abducted her from a high school parking lot and killed her. July 1, 1975, Shelley Robertson, 24, in Logan, Utah. Bundy abducted her from her workplace and killed her in a mountainous area. August 16, 1975, Lisa Levy, 20, and Margaret Bowman, 21, in Tallahassee, Florida. Bundy broke into their sorority house at Florida State University and killed them. January 15, 1978, Chi Omega sorority victims, Margaret Bowman, 21, Lisa Levy, 20, Karen Chandler, 21, and Kathy Kleiner, 21, in Tallahassee, Florida. Bundy broke into their sorority house at Florida State University and killed them. February 9, 1978, Kimberly Leach, 12, in Lake City, Florida. Bundy abducted her from her junior high school and killed her. As you can see, Bundy's criminal activity escalated over time and became more violent as he continued to kill. He was eventually caught and brought to justice for his crimes. Bundy's exact number of victims is unknown, but it is estimated that he killed between 30 to 36 people. It's important to note that Bundy never provided an accurate number of his victims, and some victims may have never been discovered or identified. Bundy did have several instances where he failed to abduct or kill potential victims. For example, in addition to Carol Duranch, Bundy also attempted to abduct a young girl in a park, a woman in a parking lot, and a woman in her apartment, but was unsuccessful in these attempts. These failures did not deter him from continuing his killing spree, however, and he continued to target and murder young women. Ted was initially caught due to a traffic violation in Utah in August 1975. He was driving a stolen vehicle, and when the police officer ran a check on the license plate, he discovered that the car was stolen. Bundy was arrested and taken into custody. At the time of his arrest, police had no idea that Bundy was a serial killer. However, they did suspect that he may have been involved in several unsolved murders of young women in the area. A search of Bundy's car turned up suspicious items, such as ski masks, gloves, and pantyhose with the eyes cut out. The police also found a crowbar that matched the one used in a previous attack on a young woman. Further investigation led to the discovery of Bundy's involvement in multiple murders across several states. Physical evidence, such as hair fibers and bite marks, as well as eyewitness testimony, linked Bundy to the crimes. After a highly publicized trial, Ted was convicted of multiple counts of murder and sentenced to death. However, Bundy continued to maintain his innocence and even attempted to represent himself during his appeals process. Despite his efforts, he was ultimately executed in the electric chair on January 24, 1989, at Florida State Prison. His death brought closure to the families of his victims and marked the end of one of the most infamous and gruesome killing sprees in American history. To this day, Ted Bundy remains a notorious figure in true crime, and his story continues to captivate the public's attention. In conclusion, Ted Bundy is one of the most notorious serial killers in history. His charm and intelligence enabled him to evade authorities and continue his killing spree for years. Bundy's criminal activity escalated over time, and he became more violent and sadistic with each victim. His victims were often young women who he abducted, raped, and killed, leaving their families and communities devastated. Despite his heinous crimes, Bundy's legacy has continued to fascinate and horrify people around the world. His story serves as a reminder of the dangers of individuals who possess a charming and manipulative persona. The case also highlighted the importance of forensic evidence in criminal investigations, as Bundy was ultimately brought to justice through DNA testing. In the end, Bundy's life serves as a cautionary tale of the dark depths of the human psyche, and a reminder that even the most charming and intelligent among us can be capable of unspeakable evil. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories.